I'm Dawn Fluellen, and thank you for watching Chasing Dawn. Many people go on missions to places like Asia, Africa, and beyond. But for the people here in St. Mary's County, the mission is right outside of your door.
Many of us are just a couple of paychecks away from being homeless. The homeless don't have a certain face. The homeless has looks just like you and me. I mean, they don't. It's not like you can characterize it like they have. They don't look right, or they're dirty, or their hair's all messed up, or they're going around and they stink and they're terrorizing people. I think sometimes that's another thing that people think, the homeless, oh, I can't be around the homeless because I might get a disease or I might get something on me, outside of just loving them and knowing that they're individuals and they have lives and they have a story. Each one has a story. And what happens is when you listen to these stories, and this is what we do often here, we find it that their stories are not much farther away from our own stories.
And a lot of the homeless in this community, a lot of them have cars, and they just don't have homes. They can't afford, a home. I mean, they only have a certain amount of money. Some of the homeless aren't broke. A lot of times people think that they're homeless are completely broke, and that's not the case either. A lot of them have their own cars. They sleep in their cars, and their car is their home. So I would say that there's different levels of homelessness. Are you a homeless person that doesn't have a home? Are you a homeless person that also doesn't have a car? There's really different levels, and so we see a wide range of levels of homelessness, if you will, in this area.
A lot of people actually are not from St. Mary's County. A lot of people are migrating here from Charles County, from Calvert County,
DC.
They come here because I think they feel safer here, and I think they get help faster here.
Let's see. My family our mother passed away, and we were living in Shangri-La at the time, and the neighborhood had went downhill pretty bad. So our mother's voucher was up for grabs. So my brother and me, our family had to get out of there, so we moved up to Hickory Hills and started trying to start anew there. And things kind of fell apart from there. A lot of family issues. So from that point, some of us started moving out, and I wound up homeless.
There's a wide range of reasons why they become homeless, and we see them all here. And we have to discern many times when somebody walks in the door. One of the first things we do is, we need to assess why this person is homeless, and what can we really do. Our whole goal here is to to actually meet the person specifically and try to get to know the person so we can actually help him or her. And the first thing is we have to assess why they're in the position they're in to begin with.
Oh, it can happen really, really easily. For me wise, it's, I guess you could say, bad luck and who you live with. Basically, yeah, it could happen to anybody. You could be living in a place one day and then all of a sudden some altercation happens, and then the next day you're just thrown out. And because I'm not from here, I don't really know anybody except my fiance, and her family hasn't been all too helpful as well. So basically, we're kind of just stuck, and it just happened.
I do registration for the WARM program, and I guess the one particular incident really impacted me was when I saw this little, to me it was a little kid. His face was like he was 15 years old, and he steps into Bridgeway to be signed in for WARM, and I find out he's 18. And it just kind of hurt my heart. It's like, where's your family? Where's your mother at? You know, why are you here? And, you know, just finding out his story and just seeing where he's, you know, come from and what he's gone through and how he ended up being homeless just kind of tugs at your heartstrings. And, you know, you just want to, sometimes you just want to take them home, you know, and mother them, but, you know, you realize you really can't take everybody home that you meet. But just kind of, you know, hurt your heart when you see a young kid walk in that's homeless and he's only 18 years old. You know, it's just, how do you get to be homeless at 18 when you have a family, and, you know, what's going on, and, you know, what did you do to get to this point, and, you know, and then how can we help you to get out of this situation?
The WARM program is a program set up for the homeless by the local churches in the area to give homeless people a warm, safe place to stay at night during the cold months of November through March. We serve all homeless. We don't discriminate. It doesn't matter whether you are black, white, red, yellow, woman, man. Anybody is welcomed as long as they qualify through Three Oaks and the Department of Social Services.
I believe the mission is kind of like, I like what we discussed a few days ago, and that was it is a safe haven. And it's a safe haven where someone can come in, and we, like our sign says, our motto is that we help one person at a time. And so when someone walks in the door, we greet them in love, not judgment. And that's the key thing, is, and that this is a service of complete love, and we have to just show our complete love to them first, and then we get to know them, and then we do our very best in helping them. The mission actually has been molded by the very need of the individual walking in the door.
Once they're here at Bridgeway, once they're signed in at Bridgeway, they're welcome to use any of the facility here. We have different areas for them as far as ping pong table, air hockey, pool table. We have television. We offer them coffee, couches. Once they're here and they're signed in, they wait for a bus that will then take them to whatever church is sponsoring them for the week. Once they're at the church will give them fellowship and a meal for the evening. They have activities at the churches, and they have lights out at 10. The next morning they're woken up, they're giving a light breakfast, and then they come back here. Once they come back here, they can stay for a while. We have a volunteer that is here during the day as a representative of Birchway to also give them a place on the cold days, since WARM is a night program, to give them a place to stay and stay out of the cold elements.
We have the food pantry because people needed food. We have the computers because they needed access and trying to find a job. We have the shower ministry because people that are homeless to walk in, they needed to have the ability to take a shower and feel clean. And just because you're homeless doesn't mean you have to be dirty. And so that's the heart of why we have a ministry, our shower ministry. Then we have the pool table and the other activities for the kids to stay off the street because they don't really have any activities. And so every single thing, we have the clothes ministry where we give clothes away. Why? Because it's getting harder to find clothes for the needy without them having to spend money that they can't afford anyway. And so we give clothes away because we know they can't afford clothes. And so everything is based on the individual and it's based on what they need. You know, for the mission, I would love to have volunteers or even people that could not come to the mission. Maybe they can give us $20 to help that one person that needed $20 worth of kerosene or whatever. It's just the most smallest thing matters. And one of the reasons why we like and we took the expense of making this place really nice, because as you can tell, we didn't pull punches of why and how this place looks, because we believe that even the needy and the homeless and the people in our community deserve the best. And so this is why we made sure that this facility is top notch.
And if I had one thing to say, and if I was able to say it to everybody, I'd say if you had $20 and where could you put it that would make the greatest difference? It's organizations like this that I think that doesn't have all the red tape, that doesn't pay salaries and stuff, is really, when you give it to us, it goes really straight back to the community. And so it's amazing what $20 here does. I mean, it just goes so far.
Donate an hour a day.
Yeah.
You know, just the whole community. I mean, just an hour or two a day or a week.
Yeah.
You know, not even a day, a week.
Just to keep our doors open.
Yeah. You know, just open the doors so people can come in and get a shower during the day.
Yeah.
I want my life to have an impact. I don't just want to live my life because I had a nice car and a nice family and a nice house and a cushy job and I'm going to get a retirement. I want my life to matter more than that. I want to have an impact so when my time is over, when the Lord takes me home, someone can look back and say, that was a life well lived. And that it wasn't about me, it was about what I can do to impact my community.
And you have to love people.
Mm-hmm. Right,
I think
love.
You have to love people.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be able, if somebody walks in the door, you got to be able to hug them and not really feel weird about it.
Yeah.
Because we hug people all the time.
I'll tell you a story.
You know, sometimes
I am a Christian. I believe in God, and He had a lot to do with it. Without Him, I don't think I could have made it through.
Yeah, if you look around the mission, you'll see that there is posters, and each one has a different word: majesty and praise and glory, and all of it has scriptures underneath, because I wanted the walls to praise the Lord.
The people in this community have made tremendous strides in getting the homeless out of these woods. With your help, they can do more. I'm Dawn Fluellen, and thank you for watching Chasing Dawn, where we're pursuing the light in every story and making the mission possible.